The only people that hate cones more than cadre are cones.
Are cones. They hate each other. They'll eat each other. It's like a crab pot.
And if you're not even
put
a
enough
cone
cones
yet,
together. Oh my God. They eat each other first. It's the first thing that happens. It's the best part about being an instructor is turning cones against each other.
oh, it's brutal. It's beautiful though.
It's the greatest. Fucking cones. Not real people. The best part, the absolute best part about it is turning cones against one another. Now that I think of it. All right, what else don't we like? Is that it?
It is nice. I mean, I think we hit the high points, you know, like I don't want to belabor this too much, you know, like
I think the point that I wanted to make is like, we're real people. Put yourself in my shoes. We're the 100. Go ahead.
I got one more. So I was thinking about going Green Beret, Ranger, SEALs, or Air Force Special Warfare. But like, do you guys see combat? Like, because I really, really want to see combat like that. And they say the word combat like 15 times.
Like,
that is my absolute favorite DM.
What do you mean? Yeah, like,
have you read the job descriptions? Like, I'm going to say it again for the 8 millionth time. If you want to shoot people in the face, go be an Army Ranger.
100%. Go be an Army Ranger. It's pretty simple. First bat, money bat, third bat. Go to one of those three. That's it. Don't get Ranger qualified. Don't go infantry with a Ranger flare. Go to the bat. Just go. That's it.
Or
that's
be
all
a
they
cop
care
in
about.
Okaloosa County. You could also do that.
Yeah, just go. Just go. It'll be great for you. Go to the Rangers. Like, and again, like, how are we put yourself in that position? I don't even know how to draw a parallel. I guess just any other job, I guess. But how are we supposed to answer that question? Well, you know, you're your own specific person with hopes and dreams and fears and desires and insecurities, and you're a complex adult human. And you're like, what should I do for my career, guy on the internet?
I feel like you would understand me, Aaron.
You're talking about years of your life, and you're literally DMing me to be like, hey, should I sign up for 6 years versus 4? I'm like, you want me to co-sign on 720 days of your life and possible happiness via DM? I don't know, homie. Maybe do, don't. I don't know. People that hit us up for relationship advice.
Yeah.
If you want to be like, hey, how do I maintain a good relationship with my spouse? Ask away. I never get mad at that. I'm like, hey, that's a great question. Here you go. Blah, 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 blah. If you're like, here's my specific situation with my wife, blah, 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 blah. And I like, what should I tell her? And I'm like, I can't run away from this question fast enough, to be honest.
Tell her to settle down. That's 100% of what you should do.
Tell her she's overreacting. Oh man, just be like, babe, do you think you're overreacting just a little bit? Are you being we're gonna get canceled. Is it that time of the month, babe? Be honest with me.
Wow. Yeah.
It's the bit.
Yeah.
We're not committing to the bit. No, it's fine.
Well,
anyway.
But also, like, we have a comment on YouTube that every time I pull up the comments, like, I notice that we haven't responded to it yet. And I don't trust myself to respond. But it's like, hey, how many times should I run per week? And then there's like this whole other paragraph about like, I've been doing all these. And it's like, you know what? Like, I don't know.
No, man. I don't know.
Like I don't have to run as many times a week as you, maybe, or when I was your age because of my background and my genetic makeup and all these other things. But I probably had to spend a lot more time on pull-ups than most of you normal humans, but like, I don't know.
I bet if you printed out what I was doing when I went to Indoc and I passed, I bet if you printed that out and just blanked my name off, handed it to me, and they were like, hey, so this guy shows up day one. Here's an objective evaluation of him. Here's his numbers. Here is a subjective. The instructors looked at him. They thought, real quick, strengths, weaknesses, and then likelihood to pass. You think this guy would pass? I would look at my own numbers and I'd be like, fucking probably not.
What is this kid thinking?
What is this guy? Yeah. Tell this kid to stay at phys tech. Probably not. Tell him don't lose his day job. Yeah. Might as well just stay home, stay comfortable. Dude. So, and again, it brings us all the way back to the beginning. Dude, I don't know. We don't know. Yeah. We're just.
Are you guys humans. Looking for a 5'10", 150-pound skeleton on your team? Because Segmiller's about to show up. You guys excited?
Trenton's sick. He can carry a lot, though. He's highly useful. I think that's it. I think people and they tend to forget too, we're just normal people. Like, we're just trying to half the time somebody will be like, oh, I need help on this. And I'm figuring out how to get them the information the same way that they should be. And I made that realization once. I was like, oh, I wonder how you do actually find that information. And I was like Googling. I was like, oh, I find this information. Oh, it's a weird page, but it's listed here. Oh, it's in the article. And then I was like, wait a second. They could have done this.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything
Super
special.
easy.
I just Googled faster.
Yeah. And honestly, going back to how old we are, we're never going to be 22 again. And while I think that we're fairly good at putting ourselves back in our shoes, which a lot of people struggle with, and remembering what it was like, we're never like, you can't unlearn things that you've already learned. So reaching out to your peers or other people that are going through the process with you, like you're going to learn a lot from them or people just ahead of you. But reaching out to the guys that did 20 years and are retired with your very specific questions, I'm not saying it's not an okay choice, but maybe not your best choice. Like I think I learned a lot more from the people of the similar, age range and experience range than I ever did from like going straight to like the master sergeant asking me a question, because he's just gonna be like, I don't have time for your stupid E3 nonsense. Get out of my office. I hate you. And it's not because he didn't know.
Right.
It's because he's like, it's gonna take me 4 hours to explain my viewpoint of the answer to the question that you just asked because I've been in forever.
Right. Did you go to your section leader? Did you go to your element leader?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Why are you in my office? Nobody could explain this to you.
You skipped a few steps. Did you look in a book?
Right. And I hope you guys understand, like, I hope you hear what Trent's saying. Like, we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. We're literally telling you that there are things that you could do. Like, hopefully you don't need us. Hopefully you're like, hey, thanks for your service in GWAT. You guys have a good retirement. We got it. We're going to go from here. That's the goal. Self-coaching is always the goal for what it is that we want you guys to do. Of course, we're here to help, but take what Trent just said seriously. And sometimes the most fertile ground is right where you are. You can literally just look around, and any team room that you're in, you see a multitude of different experience levels and skills. And you would look around my team room, and there's a tandem master and a breacher and a sniper and a super good cyber dork sitting over in the corner, and a crow that knows everything about PR. Like there's not really a whole lot of question, good JTAG dude. There's not a whole lot of questions that can't get answered in that room for our job.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of overhead questions. Be like, hey, does anybody know how to do this? And you'd have one guy be like, yeah, I went to school for that. And be like, all right, we got it. So you're the lead on this TDY. Be like, yeah, just put it on the calendar. Thanks. Put it on Spotify.
Yep. And just to hit it one more time, like I can't remember how many times I've jumped like experience echelons and been that person in my past and asked questions of people, and they just straight up ignored me. And now, like, there's a reason I don't feel guilty if I don't answer certain DMs. I'm like, you're gonna receive the silence, and then hopefully, the best thing that you could possibly do is do some research on your own or reach out to your peers.
Right. I can't. I got to engage. I just got to be like, oh, man, we did a whole episode on it. Here it is.